Start it.
Go. We're recording.
From the content creators that bring you the lowest effort content imaginable. You know, the ones that brought you info that devs don't want you to know about. The podcast you probably don't want your girlfriend to know about. And will most likely get you banned just for talking about it. Raw, uncut, and uncensored.
We want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Maybe try some mining or something. Remember not to undock anything you can't afford to lose.
Welcome to the Echoes of New Eden podcast. Let's start this bitch.
And welcome everybody. Welcome to Echoes of New Eden podcast, here for another week of news and content and other stuff that's going on. That happened this last week. I am with Taylor Rick as usual, and we also have OC Can't Stop with us today in celebration of Sivarta's birthday. I do want to welcome everybody. Everybody wish him a happy birthday too. He's in the audience too.
Happy birthday, Sivarta. Awesome.
So welcome guys, welcome everybody. As you can see, I brought back the metal intro for this week. I know I'm changing it up a little bit. It wasn't the ad hominem intro like OC was anticipating, but you know, I
think we've had enough of that.
Agreed.
Right. 30 seconds of that was like about all you wanted. And,
yeah.
You know, listening back to last week's episode, I laughed so many times as to like the things that we say, the jokes that we say, the sound bites that I'm able to get out of all of this stuff, you know, when we're laughing at each other, with each other, just in general, it's overall like a fun time, you know. So I do want to welcome everybody. We have just about a full audience already, you know, close to 50, and you have 49 in the audience right now, so welcome. We are not doing the video because of that whole 50 member cap. You know, we're just not going to do that. We figure we're probably going to be hitting these numbers anyway, so might as well not even fight it.
Not until we get boosted. Once we get boosted up enough to get to that 100, 150 mark with the video on, then we'll turn it back on. But that takes a little while and takes people willing to boost the server. And it doesn't really matter that much. It's nice, but it doesn't really matter that much.
No, not at all. All right. So before I get onto the timeline, I gotta mute that tab.
Yes, you do.
No, I accidentally closed out my alt Discord for looking at the official Eve Echoes Discord, and when I brought that tab back up, I got a notification, and so then I had to mute it. And of course, everybody heard it. But
I remember that one episode where I had no idea those pings were coming through on the recording, and someone said the whole thing wasn't listenable, and it was pinging like literally every 5 seconds or more. And that was my Discord going through with just a normal day, and I'm so used to it I didn't even really notice it or hear it. And people were like, "Really? That's how much you get pinged on a Sunday?" And it's like, yes, I get pinged that much every day. So,
yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So Change said that he'll boost the server if OC promises to do video.
Yeah, but see, be careful what you wish for, Chained. We don't know what OC looks like. But secondly, what he'll do is he'll take a picture of that screen we see of him right now and hang that in front of the camera.
That's a perfectly good troll you just ruined, dude.
I know. I just ruined it for you.
My God. I'm gonna throw all these pictures away. What the fuck? Do you even care about trees?
No, I don't.
The gamer said to the other gamer.
Right.
All right. So, you know, what had spawned from the last video, I actually got some more sound clips from last video. So
nice.
Get this one. Check this one out. I couldn't get a clean version, so like you hear a little bit of OC in there, you hear Jubi kind of chuckle a little bit.
That's the only way you can say that ship name, by the way. You have to scream.
Dude, it's so great.
Yep.
We need to get a cleaned up version of it. So if you want to go ahead and do that real quick, so I can
you want me to do it right now?
Do it.
Azazel! That one.
Perfect.
My wife
That will be.
is going to text me now and want to know what the hell is wrong. What's going on? Are you okay? I guarantee you.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, I pulled some. Dude, when OC said Lamau out loud, I lost it. I actually laughed on air.
Wait, so I commanded you to Lamau and it worked?
Literally.
Oh my
When
God,
you
bro.
said
Lamau.
when you said Lamau, you actually hear me laughing, post that, and I ended up muting my mic. But when I listened to the last week's show over again, I couldn't help but laugh. I was like, I gotta pull it. So that's
It was
also
really
a
a
sound
subtitle.
clip. I got this one too.
Why is the Citadel off?
Yeah, exactly.
That one's gonna get raised,
OC.
I think.
This is the official OC Can't Stop soundboard presented by Rambo and Echoes of New Eden podcast. So we got those. I added one for Damon. How about this one?
Exactly how many fucks do you have to give?
These are good post-patch ones.
Yes.
Yes. Very much so.
So good deal. That's what was added to the soundboard this last week from last week's episode, and then I'm sure we're gonna have more coming up. But I like to add to this because I just like having
Ad
it
hominem.
right on the dot. I could just put it whenever I.
Or the
I
old,
just-
right there. You need to get that guy off of YouTube. Emotional damage.
Yeah. Do you need to pull like the Ozzier one as well?
Yes.
Amongst others.
Yes. Put
All
the
right,
bubble
cool.
down. We need that for today. I know you have that. You need to have that ready. Put
our
the
own Dictor bubble down
That
at
one.
the LQ game.
Yes, you need to
Take
have that.
Down
Yes.
our Dictor bubble. Come on.
Yeah.
Come
Those will
on.
be coming in late. Those will be coming in later. I promise.
I will
So,
send you to Jesus. Yes.
Let's go. For real. Yeah, definitely need to get those. Yeah, let's go into what we got coming up in today's show. I already showed you some of the new soundboard stuff that we had. We'll be having Fullsend and David here on in just a minute, and we'll get to talking with them. And I actually have no idea what Taylor wants to talk to them about, so that'll be fun.
I don't either. We'll make it up on the fly.
Right. So I know I'd asked them today. I was like, hey, did that ever happen? And it turned out it did. So we'll
Yes.
have them on. We'll go over, and then later on in the show, we'll go over the latest patch notes. We'll do a shout out about our Eve Echoes Voyage ceremony that we're going to be doing.
Yep.
That's next Sunday, not this Sunday, like I thought. And then, I had posted in the announcement, Reddit is good right about this time of the year. And
Yep.
there's been some juicy posts. And one post that seems to be, it's not the gift that keeps on giving, at least not year round, but B-Town had dropped a huge intel post. And we'll talk a little bit about that too. It's like we talk about that theft like every week now for almost a month. We've
Yeah, really.
had to talk.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we really have.
stuff's coming out, amongst other stuff that's going to be coming up during the show that I may have forgot to put in my notes. But in typical E1 fashion, here we go, and we'll get this thing going. And we can invite in Fullsend, and I didn't see if David was in the audience right now, but we'll get them in and.
Can't see, but if you are,
Good
put your
stuff.
hand up, do a little wave thing, ask to come to the stage. We'll get you on the stage. There he goes. Two of them. Should be two.
And Jubi as well.
And
so.
Jubi as well. All
Jubi
right.
raised his hand.
We'll have a
Okay.
full court here.
Cool.
Cool.
I
I was
accept it.
waiting 10 minutes. God damn it.
Sorry, I wasn't looking at that. I was
God
looking
damn
at
it,
my-
he
all my
says.
other stuff. We got Fullsend in the house. What's going on?
What's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good.
Okay, was David coming in or no? I
No,
didn't
David
see
had
him.
little prior engagements. He's busy.
Okay, no worries.
Okay, all good.
No
We'll
worries.
just go with you. Easy
Yeah, welcome
enough.
To the, welcome to the podcast. Is this your first time actually being on the podcast? I don't recall having you as a guest before.
Yep, first time ever.
Okay. Though with David, I want to say I did have him as a guest before when I think Terran Federation 2.0 was coming around. If I can remember correctly, I know there's a bunch of talking heads there, but I think we'd had him on the show once before, so I was going to ask, basically. I just couldn't remember. We have a lot of shows. We do a lot of tier. A lot of guests. But I welcome you. Thank you for coming on today.
Thanks for having me.
So why don't we start by you just, I know you wanted to come on to obviously talk about the pirate life, talk about the merc life, those kinds of things. Why don't you just introduce yourself, talk a little bit about PHP, the history, and then we'll kind of go from there with whatever else you want to cover.
Right. Well, I'm just gonna start with hi, I'm Fullsend. Main combat FC of Pale Horse, been there for years, or pretty much been there for years now. Pale Horse used to be Wallet Warriors, before transitioning out to a different name at Pale Horse, kind of when I picked up and started rolling with them. As far as history, we almost burned out completely to the point of 6 to 8 players, and all those players just kind of bailing, going different places, and then by David's sheer tenacity alone, just, hey, I want to bring it back. I want to bring it back full force, and sure as shit, David regrew Pale Horse from 6 to 8 people leaving their separate ways, coming back into Pale Horse, and then reigniting our whole alliance, our whole corp. And now there's just our hands are kind of all over different areas of the game, doing different shit, having different activities and content planned out. We have added new corps back into the alliance, kind of regrowing the alliance as a whole while rebuilding ourselves as well. We got Yellow Jackets back. They're thriving, having fun.
Nice.
The players are growing back into it. But they were at a stage of same thing as us, about to burn out and disappear if they didn't kind of find something to do, and we kind of just help them, give them something to do to come back and help us grow with them. Red Scorpions is still part of the Sixth Seal. They're kind of doing their own thing. As far as what we do in general is just, we're a pirate corp first and foremost. Merc work, yeah, we can do it, but our specialty is just fucking you over in LoSec, fucking you over in nullsec, flying scepters into your area, cruisers, whatever. We're just pirates at the heart, at the core is just pirates. Merc work, I want to think of it like this. It's at the state of the game, yeah, you can pay for some mercs to do whatever you kind of want to do, but at the end of the day, you can kind of do it yourself if you're part of a big-ass power block, picture SHH, picture Kraken. You can send out a team of your own people to get it done yourself. So as far as needing mercs, you can pay for mercs to do stuff, but
well, there's a guy posting up that he's willing to pay somebody 40 bill for taking out a Citadel down in Kraken space. I don't know if you've seen that. He's been posting it all over help chat.
Oh, that's
Jita.
Cool. Here's another thing about that. Taking out a Citadel, you gotta entertain that to actual wholehearted merc crews, right?
Mm-hmm.
You try to throw that at Pale Horse, for example. Oh, cool! You want us to go shoot a Citadel? Okay. The name of my corp is Pale Horse Pirating. I'll go flank it in the middle of the night, when home crew responders aren't there, maybe. But if it's taking a T4 Citadel, what the fuck am I, a nomadic pirate, going to do with that?
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
A damn thing.
Exactly.
I don't need it. So yeah, we're just pirates, really good pirates, really rich pirates. As soon as David grew us back to really thriving, there's not a single one of us that doesn't have a fucking small arsenal of their own capitals built up sitting somewhere, and it's just damn, we're pirates. We don't have SOG. How did we do this? Just having a good time and listening to fucking David and following a good path that he has structured for us.
Nice. Do you have a specific area though where you're trying to focus on in terms of where so you're probably not doing any ratting at all,
actually,
then, basically, or no?
Yeah, you know what? For a long time, I've steered the corp into one direction, and we've just gone that direction and rolled with it. We operate in no local space. That's where you'll find us.
Yeah, drone lands.
That's where we are the strongest. That's where we have the most fun. That's where I find the corp has grown the most vicious too. No local space. You want to find us? If you want to PvP against us, I mean, shit. Again, we're pirates. We'll go wherever. But if you want to come throw down against us, you got to come to no local, because that's our playing field.
Nice. By that he means drone lands, everyone. For those of you in Rio Linda.
Any space but no local. If you can come into a wormhole, Kavala small, Kavala medium, Kavala large. I got some boys in Ethereum. I got people all over Cobalt. No local space.
Yep. Which is really kind of a nice. I mean, all of those areas in drone lands, each one's a little bit different than the other, which is weird. But it's also kind of nice to have those sort of area in Echoes. A long time coming to get that kind of build up for those areas, but it's there at this point. So, wish I get to spend more time out in those areas myself, but never do. Not really.
It's amazing. Just like and anybody with slight skill in a covert op ship can just sneak up on someone and ruin someone's day, and they just don't know. They don't see what's coming. You can never see what's coming in these no local spaces. That's what makes it so fun. Like rolling through your null sec where every damn near system all the way up to your dead end is cammed. Okay, cool. You'll see me the whole way there.
Yeah.
You can't really cam no local space. You can sort of. You can cam a gate. You can cam your station. You can cam your pos. But the whole open space of no local, good fucking luck.
Right. So we've had a lot of people over the past, I don't know, year or so, maybe year and a half, talk about how there's a lot of this part of the game is dead, that the other part of the game is dead. Ship classes are dead. Everything's capitals, this, that, or the other. I mean, it's just listening to you talk. It sounds like from your perspective, you don't agree with any of that at all. Do you think that there's a good enough number of people playing the game? Do you think the player base is big enough?
So in terms of how the player base is condensed. It has shrunk since the start of the game to now. That's a fact.
Sure.
I agree with that.
Sure.
But how you have to look at it is where has the player base gone? And it's just to different areas of the game. If you look at AOA on the map, AOA is not all over the map. They're condensed in specific areas because you can fly through 30 AOA systems, not see a single person or a camera.
Right.
Okay? Everybody's condensed. Decline, that is probably one of the most condensed regions I can think about because every jump you go, it's full of people and cameras. Everybody's condensed in the region. Same with Delve, nice space, people in Kraken on the west side of Kraken. I'm sorry, on the east side of Kraken. But again, everybody is condensed in their spaces. As far as where the content is, you have to know time zone and know who operates in what space. Like if you don't know a specific time zone, right? Like if I want to go hunt TSC, but I don't know what time zone they are, I'm not going to get fuck all for content. But if I know TSC and I know their time zone, I know right where to fly to go get an immediate reaction, an immediate response. Like an immediate get my shit pushed in, walking into the wrong system and hit a super. Like everything is time zone based now, right? So if I like even me personally for my content, if I want to go do something at like a specific time of day, let's say before 3 p.m., I'll go grab a frigate, fly it into the Kavala Small because I know European time zone will be in there. Like you just have to know your time zone, know what you're going to do in that time zone, who you're going to be facing, and have a plan. Because if you just I'm gonna go roll into AOA in middle of North America time zone, what are you going to catch?
Nothing.
You have to know your area.
Well, there's certain areas you can catch some AOA active in what I call late North American time zone. There's a few pockets where they have guys who are doing their shit in the morning, their morning anyway. So it depends.
And
but
again,
yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense. But everybody's just condensed. And
Yep.
Again, part of knowing where the content is mainly based on what corp are you in, helping you get the content. If your corp isn't with you 100%, helping you find content, go get a kill, go find this or that, then you're just going to be dead in the water. Like you have to have that corp backing you as well.
Yeah, for sure. I see a few people who are commenting in the stage chat channel. Don't do that. Go into the on-air channel. No one's watching that other one. You got to be on the on-air channel. That's where we are talking and can reply to things. So if you've got questions for Fullsend, type them there, please. Don't type them in that chat. That's part of the stage chat. So in terms of like the state of the game, new ships coming in, the new destroyers, which are now buildable. They weren't until really this week. Now that materials are playable, are actually harvestable. And of course, the new battleships that were added too a few weeks back. Those were in boxes. What do you feel like the state of the game is right now? Just in terms of overall content between like say now and like a year ago?
Okay, so now and a few years ago, it's different content and it's more, it's I guess broader content than what was so limited back then, because now there's so many things you can do to where just hopping on one path of content when there's so many now, you're not gonna find much of anybody to run into. You're gonna find sites to run, dead spaces all over the place, and deads. But again, there's so much of it now, and everybody being so condensed. You have stuff to do, but do you have people to do it with? Is kind of the thing, and that just comes back to more like, is your corp with you in what you're doing, or are you with your corp and communicating what you're doing with your corp? Because again, there's content all over the place, but if you're just rolling solo, it's just going to look like it did way back then. You just gotta hunt it down and hope you find something.
Only those guys who have been doing this for 4 straight years can really kind of go and do it solo. And even those quote unquote solo guys aren't really doing it solo anymore either. They're doing it with an alt or two. So it's kind of a different gameplay. I agree. How do you think that plays in for someone coming in that's new? How would someone new come into it and be able to do anything like what you guys are doing?
For someone coming in new and to be able to do what we're doing, again, they have to, communicate with the right people, know what they want to do. You're coming in, you're not going to know what you want to do. That's a fact. It's kind of like it's everybody's clean slate coming in.
Sure.
But if you have just that one person, hey, what are you doing? You want to come see what this is like? Hey, come follow me on this kill real quick. See what killing someone is like. Hey, come over here real quick. Let's go rob someone's rally. What's robbing a rally? Exactly. Come here real quick. You got to have somebody that's out there willing to push new initiative to do stuff with newcomers. I don't want to say a noob FC, but someone willing to go back down to that low tier, hunting down players that want to do certain things but don't have the reach or the connections to do said things. You have to kind of just, and again, people are going to start out just undocking in Jita, not know where the fuck to go, and that's kind of like maybe you advertise in Jita, but that's spamming a bit. You kind of have to hunt down those players that you see doing something and kind of question them. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, have you ever heard of this? I'll give you one example, and this is a long-time pilot I've had in my corp. His name is Gratz. A lot of people know Gratz.
Yeah.
How did I find Gratz and get him in Pale Horse? I was on a roam with cruisers and frigates. I want to say I had 6 to 8 pilots in my fleet. He was one pilot in catch. He fucking smoked us by himself, to the point where I'm like, what? And this was years ago, and I'm just like, this fucking pilot, what the fuck? Okay, okay. I remember that. Went back into his DMs. Yo, do you only stay in your home space? Do you are you only a region defender? Do you ever go outside and just go different areas? No, region defender, stayed in catch. Okay, come with me. Let me take you out of that. Let me take you across the fucking map. Let me show you this, that, and the other. Let me show you money. Let me show you contracts. You have to have that person. You have to have that person willing to go out and seek people out just randomly. Hey, what are you doing? Can I show you this? Hey, dude, you have insane skill. Let me talk to you about this. You have to kind of have a good fucking recruiter, not just somebody that sits at a desk spamming Jita.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Takes effort. All of it takes effort. It's not a game for the. I don't know. If you're just going to put no effort into it, then you're going to get exactly what Bradrick just said a second ago. This game is dead. There's no effort. There's no reward.
As someone who has flown with many different entities over the years, I do have to say, those who are looking for a change, PHPC is a cool bunch of guys. Even when I've been friends with David and Meow and Fullsend for years, and even when I was with OG, and they came on a pirate contract to kill OG, I was just sitting at a gate with them, just talking with them. They left me alone. They killed all the other OGs, and I didn't lift a finger to help the OG guys, but I thought it was hilarious. Does Meow still fly with you guys?
Mystery Meow, he does not fly consistently with us, but he will log on in his succubus for 24 hours, get a couple kills, and log off.
Sweet.
That's about it. He doesn't really talk to us anymore. He's still Pale Horse. He's still with us, but he logs on, gets a kill, and disappears for like months.
Yeah, I used to fly with him a little bit all the way back in my days in Providence. And it's too bad David wasn't on because we could recount that time when he parked his Celestis 2 covert ops outside of my Citadel down in Providence and just camped it for like a whole fucking month, which was at the time the most aggravating goddamn thing I'd ever ran into in a game ever. And I was so pissed off. And like we had Pale Horse in our system nonstop. We couldn't mine. We couldn't rat. We couldn't half the time. Guys couldn't even. As soon as they undock. Yeah, as soon as we undock and warp somewhere, they were dead, and we had people. It was kind of a nightmare as a new CEO of C-137 at the time, and really trying to figure out what we were doing in null space for the first time too. And yeah, OC, you recall some of this. We were having all kinds of issues with Pale Horse, and of course David and his Celestis Covops too. But I tell you what, I learned more about the game in terms of the PvP side of aspect from that month. Just in that one condensed month than I did in the few months before that and the few months after that. And that kind of content, that kind of engagement, that kind of level of shenanigans, if you will, or fuckery, is actually great for the game. I was really pissed off for the first few weeks of that, and then I started to kind of love it. I was like, it's actually a fucking challenge. It's actually a fucking challenge. It's not at the time anyway, PvP felt like in some ways he's orbiting you, you're orbiting him, whoever's got the better skills wins. Like it was kind of that for a short period there as everybody's going up the same tier levels, and then it finally kind of got away from that. But no, I look back on those times fondly, even though they were a pain. It's a great way to learn. It's a great way to learn.
See, and what you just said. Sorry. Good. I was just gonna say what Taylor just said right there. That statement basically encapsulates all of EVE Online, EVE Echoes in a nutshell. It is sink or swim. You will either, with adversity, you will either learn to overcome it or flounder underneath it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And again, those times that Pale Horse was harassing you, that was well before that we, again, burned out as a corp.
Yeah.
All players went separate directions, just trying different things. Then we realized, okay, David's trying to, bring it back. We brought it back, and I'm very damn happy in Pale Horse. Everybody's an epic pilot. I'll address one thing that people early brought on before the audience grew, but there was a dread loss last night in Pale Horse. I want to make it very clear that's not something we do. He did that dreadnought while drunk. Okay, I understand your ship, your property. Do whatever the hell you want with it. I'm not going to tell you otherwise. It's your ship. You, whatever. But realize we don't fucking do that in Pale Horse. We actually use our capitals with a goal and a purpose, and I'll make that very fucking clear. So he is no longer with Pale Horse due to that. He doesn't like that. I guess we don't appreciate eating capitals in the corp as an image. It's not us. That's
yeah.
We're here to have fun, right, and look good having fun, not fuck like what a dread loss. Just kind of, bruh, did you have an objective? No. Okay, thank you. Good to know.
Well, it's discipline. You're disciplining your pilots, so that's the expectations that you have in Pale Horse. So to be expected.
Well, if you don't have expectations, if you don't have expectations in a corp. Right, let alone the alliance level or anything else. But if you don't have expectations in a corp, then it's not a corp. It's just a collection of guys ratting and spinning ships in while they're docked. Right, you have to have expectations. You have to have some sort of standards or rules. You have to have some sort of guideline for what people need to be doing every day when they do log on, when they have time to log on. You also have to be mindful of, people have a life and they have other things they want to do besides this sometimes, and that's fine. But when they are here, then these are the level of expectations, and however you set those and however you put those into place determines what kind of corporation you have, whether it's a full-blown PvP nonstop pirate type corporation like PHPC, or it's we're sort of Care Bears, we have a lot of ND, and yeah, we PvP when we need to, like Big. So
I totally thought you were going to throw my corp under the
bus. No, I do that every day.
I
do that every day. I didn't need to today, so
yeah, it's basically the same.
Yeah. Anybody got any
Fullsend, did you
questions
have
for?
something there?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I was
Well,
just gonna say that was basically it. We still have fun with our capitals, but we plan shit and have an objective with an extract with everything in place. We don't just throw it and hope it'll survive. Fuck it. No, it's not. No.
So I have a question for Fullsend, and this is just trying to get into the mind of a Merc organization, because I really don't know anything about Mercs, how to hire them. I've never hired him or them before. I've seen them roaming around and all this type of stuff, but like how's business? Are Merc Corps really busy? Are they busy all the time? Are there lulls where they just do random roams, or are there times where they have a set of objectives that they like a timeline type of thing where they go and attack, and then they could be busy for months? So how's business? Is it really busy being a Merc Corp?
When on contract, yes, it can get busy. And again, it just really depends on the level of the contract and what the client asks for. I've had a contract where it was hit every POS, hit every ship, remove every player from the system as fast as possible, and they caved within 36 hours because we full deployed. Because the client asked for an immediate, just throw everything you have at this contract, and we did it, and it was fantastic. It was I don't know if you guys remember, but this was when Cosmic Hawk, if you're in the fucking chat, so when Cosmic Hawk got evicted from cash in 36 hours. That was that contract. That was fun.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah. That again, it just all depends on what the client wants. It on long-term contracts, you essentially are just looking at hitting ships for PPK. If there's no real desire for structures due to the target and what they'll bring out, then it's just like destabilize and shoot radders, shoot miners, shoot renters. Because I mean, you have to look at a contract at times where it's like, hey, hit this Citadel. Well, the Citadel's T4, and it's sitting in the middle of the heart of their fucking area. And do you know how many supers they have? So
not going to be too effective. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's long-term contracts are just pretty much just PPK, smash whatever you can. Short-term, like really, really good short-term contracts. Those ones tend to be fun because a client sometimes will ask just everything you have, and on those contracts they end very fast. The money is good. The money is short-lived, but the money is good. But stage in an NPC in an area and just live out of that NPC for days, weeks, months on an end. It's just easy content. Our red and gray list is we have no blues. We have like a corp of blues. I'm not gonna tell you who they are. We love them. They love us. We're homies. But as far as that, we don't have blues. We have one corp that are our blues just because we're homies. But like we'll shoot. We have the freedom to shoot the entire map, which is amazing. So it's contracts. They come and go. Do we need them? There's stuff to kill that drops amazing bling where it's just like, oh, I just got paid in one day what I would have gotten paid in on my contract payment. Like, it's there, but we don't need it as work. It's just a bonus.
Oh, very nice. And then on top of that too, is there really any competition between you? Do you have people actually shopping Merc Corps and saying, hey, well, this corp will do it for this much?
I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to deny it. The game knows who the top dog Merc corporation in the fucking game is. Okay, everybody knows it. I don't even need to say their name. They know who they are. They're nasty. I wouldn't even step to them with anything Pale Horse has. I wouldn't, because out of respect to their skill, they know who they are. But as far as like the shopping around, you kind of buy what you buy what you want. Like if you have our track record sheets, because we keep our PPK down in spreadsheets from like day one. If you have our spreadsheets, you see what we can do. You can kind of shop around and be like, okay, I know what Pale Horse and the Six can do. I'll buy that for now. Or I know what Top Dogs can do. I'll go buy them. But you have to know, the more not, the higher tiered merc corps that you're after in the game, they're fucking expensive. Yes, they're very expensive. Not to say that we're cheap, but like, know what you're buying when you're buying it, because like,
I make them expensive.
Not every merc organization has the same shit or is structured the same way with the same amount of people. There is a market. You shop for what you want. It's not a big market. I want to say, my corp is my alliance is probably one of the longest standing active mercenary organizations in the game, and I only think there's only like, there's not a lot. I can name it one hand, I think.
Yeah, total merc organizations, or that would take merc work anyway, and they could actually do something with it. Yeah, there's 5 or less, and 5 is a stretch.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, Jubi, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, me and Rambo, we have this music video what we need to film. So, the country song that if Rambo can sing a little bit, play it. So
that nobody wants to hear that. I tell you that much. We just had people boost the server, and I tell you they're not paying for that.
Until you get a kill mail. That was a good country song. So if we should film this video, a music video, how much would it cost?
What is the question? I'm lost.
So
how much would it cost if I ask Fullsend's Mercenary Corp if me and Rambo can join them and film a music video?
I see what you're asking.
If you can join us to film a video,
I maybe not in court, but collaborate, I think is what he's trying to get at. Because I had this song.
Yeah, you know what? No, I know exactly what he's talking about. Okay, so do you know who the TPs are?
What TPs?
Yes, you ever heard of the TP?
Yeah, he roamed. He killed one of my members yesterday, I think.
Okay, say that again. You said he killed one of your members,
or all 7 of them. I don't know, 3, 4.
So that trio right there. I'll get you in contact with them, because watching all your videos, Jubi, you have this one thing in common. It's just like a little frigate starfighter type fucking Gundam intro, and I love that. They fly nothing but frigates and slaughter. If you just stick your frigate with that little trio and just fly with them for a couple hours, I think you'll probably get some of the best footage. You'll get from us currently.
Yeah, I haven't been in much in Kalevala or the Cobalt, whatever the new places.
No,
I'm
gonna send you with the TPs on just a general null realm. I'm not gonna put you in no local, because that doesn't.
You'll likely wind up in Declan.
Because I have this weird memory that I have been in some kind of fleet with you. I don't remember, was it in Blink Fleet or something similar? I don't know. I have this weird memory.
A lot of people say they have memories with me, and I just say okay.
I was thinking about that because I remember you being part of. I think you were part of SHH at one time, or part of Trog, or you were in Razzle Dazzle. Or
I was in Trog.
He was in Trog.
Like, I remember being blue with you in the past, and then I know that you've moved on and you're doing this now. But I've seen you around in New Eden more than once, for sure.
Yeah, I just stick to no local space nowadays. Like, it's peaceful. Nobody bothers me much. But as far as like what I do in there, you just gotta come find out, and I'll show you the hard way.
Okay, so there you go, Jubi. He can point you to somebody to collaborate to be able to get PvP footage, good PvP footage, because we're not looking for low effort gate camping PvP footage. So
yeah,
I just want to throw that out there.
You don't want to
But,
see my video
what-
of mining a moon belt?
Like I said, Taylor, low effort. I'm trying to eliminate low effort. Low effort. PvP footage. All right. I did have a question, and this could be for more of the broader audience, is if alliances or corporations want to hire you, how can they reach out to you? Where can they find you to be able to get something going?
DM David or myself. You DM me, I just direct you to David, but just DM me or David.
But
if
then,
people
you
don't
know,
have our corp. Do I need
either,
like a corp?
in-game-
Like I could put a corp link for you.
Oh yeah.
In game,
Yeah,
out of game,
if you have a Discord, that works too. But for people, if you have like a public channel or something cool, I'd join it for that, and then I could also
Yeah, we have
refer
a public-
people.
Here, I'll drop the public for the server right now. And yeah, for the Pale Horse
Okay.
reading and listening, it's just it's just the public. Okay.
Yeah,
the
don't
public.
lose your
Just the
shit.
public.
Yeah, you got a raid incoming. By the way, you got a raid incoming. Just want to warn you. All the people joining.
Yeah, and you guys can also advertise in my fan club, Jubi's fan club. We have this marketplace. Do some kind of a nice advertising picture. Tell about your corp. I bet someone will hire you guys.
I'm sure if
Pretty good
someone's
deal.
looking for any kind of information like that, they probably already figured out who Pale Horse is. It would be difficult. I mean, unless they're just complete noobs, it'd be difficult for them not to know.
Clients usually know who to DM, and
Yeah.
everything is confidential. But yeah, all we do is just have fun as a corp. We progress as a corp. All our pilots stay happy, stay healthy, stay stacked up on everything they need. As far as like feeding content, like if I see something, my boys know about it. If my boy sees something, I know about it. Like it's fun.
All right, sounds good. So unless anybody has any questions from the audience for Fullsend or anything about Pale Horse, we can kind of start to wrap it up. We've got lots of other things to cover today. I appreciate you coming on, Fullsend. Maybe we can still get David on at some point in the future. I'd love to pick his brain a little bit. Anybody else? Any other questions for Fullsend while he's here? I'm already 45 minutes into the show.
Are we really? We are.
Yeah, we are, yeah.
Hey,
Absolutely.
good stuff. No further questions from me. I think I'm pretty satisfied. It was nice hearing from Fullsend and kind of getting a background as to what he does in game and his thoughts on it. We got a Discord link. I joined it. I'm already being asked questions of like, how do I like war? How do you like war?
War is fantastic.
Sure.
I think I'm still a member. I think I'm still a member on that Discord.
Only 100 people over there, so there can't be that many. Go join it. Spam it. Give it a raid alert.
Or hire them.
Or hire it.
Shout
Yeah,
out to
especially. Yeah.
Fullsend and,
Yeah.
and Pale Horse. Yes.
Yep.
Thank you, Fullsend, for coming on and talking with us.
No problem. And I'll see you guys around.
Yep. See you, man. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye bye. Or
Cool.
stay here.
The
the rest of the show.
What?
Yeah.
All right, good deal, man. That was great to hear from him, and we got a new Discord to check out too. So
Nice.
Yeah.
good deal. Another community. I like that. I wasn't on Pale Horse pirating before. I'm on a few other Merc ones, but I wasn't on there, so it's cool to have. Good to reach out. Yep. All right, shall we go over the latest and greatest game news? I know everybody's just itching and excited to talk about this, and we'll have to go over the latest. I know people are wanting to know about this moon mining structure, and Taylor hasn't provided a how-to video just yet, but we have heard, we have seen a number of corporations spawning these moon belts as to what's all in them, what kind of materials people are expecting out of them, how random they are location-wise, what's required, how long it takes. There's a bit of that information that's out there too. For the corporations that haven't got to run those new mining belts yet too. So I don't know how much you want to talk about that, Taylor. But that is one thing that we kind of hinted last episode as to when we're going to start spawning them and kind of how they work nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, they're being spawned everywhere at this point for corporations that wanted to have them and were ready for it. You don't have to have the level 6 unlocked or even skilled up to do it. You can just do it at the level 5. And I don't know, it depends on how many people, really wanted that to be able to be ready. They have plenty of time to be ready for it. I'll just put it that way. If they really wanted to be launching those day one and having them run this week, ready to run this week, then they could have. And if they didn't, then maybe there just wasn't a priority for them. There's really not too much to say about it, and I didn't really film anything that we've done because it's kind of. It's not that it's meh. But
it doesn't look that different, though.
It doesn't look. It's just a giant cluster of rocks.
It's 50 km wide.
Yeah, it's just a giant cluster of rocks. There's no animation from the add-on structure. There's nothing really special about it, other than it's timed mining, and it apparently despawns after a set number of hours, whether you've mined it out completely or not.
I think that's 48 hours. I'm not sure if the patch notes are talking about after you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me back up. Sorry. When you click the button and you hit the 7 mil gigajoule, this is for the audience, it takes 20 minutes to drill. After that, the belt doesn't just spawn.
20
you
hours.
Have to you have to click the button to actually get it to spawn.
Yeah,
I don't know if the distance between that is 48 hours maximum. Or
it can fail, by the way.
It can fail?
I learned that this week, that it can 100%, it can fail. It's not a 100% you're guaranteed a belt or a cluster every time. It can fail.
Jesus Christ.
In which case, if it does, you have to hit the button again and wait another 20 hours.
Did they
comment that's on where having that's where having that tech level 6 and those additional tech levels to be able to make that 100%, or doesn't that not even matter?
Doesn't make it 100%, no. The corporation that had theirs fail has theirs their tech's level 6, the 3 out of 3 leveled up as well. So, yep.
So what's the base percentage?
No idea. It's not listed anywhere. The interesting thing, though, is with the rocks and the crystals and the breakdown between that and your regular minerals, there's a shit that's it's roughly somewhere between on the low end of about 8.2 million meters cubed to the high end right around the 10 million meters cubed that they said it would be. It never spawns the exact same number of rocks from what I can tell. It's a range somewhere of 208 to 280. I've seen the lowest of 208 and the highest of 280. And, the minerals out of it are fantastic. I can see right now that the mineral and PI market is just going to go right through the floor. We're going to see prices deflate pretty substantially. Maybe not this week or next.
Minerals during the same amount of time, though.
Yeah.
But
you just added that much more to it. You just added that much more to it, though.
What do you mean you added more?
You've added that many. Well, because the PI is there too, right? So when you go and refine it, you've just added. We cleared ours in 30. We're clearing ours in 30 minutes. Okay, so you've just added that much material into the game in a 30-minute period, 3 times a week from us alone, let alone anybody else.
So some of these crafts, you actually don't break down the materials to use in the
correct.
Craft?
You don't.
But what I'm saying is, for the same amount of time, you're actually getting less regular minerals.
Right, you're getting all these new minerals, right?
Right.
Yeah, so there's a breakdown there. It's about 50-50, maybe a little, sometimes more, sometimes left. So no, it's not. But what I'm getting at is you're just adding a shit ton more of those minerals into the game that wouldn't otherwise have been there. It's not like the miners aren't going to do anything else the rest of the week. They're still doing it.
I guess my point is, so if in the same amount of time you produce less minerals and more PI, that should put more pressure on mineral prices. Like usually when PI goes down in value, minerals, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna deflate the market a little bit. I think it will. I think you'll see TRIT start to fall back down to the 1 that it was at a while back instead of being at 3 in Jita.
You think this is gonna drive more activity, like people that otherwise wouldn't have been mining? That's what you're saying.
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly. I think it's gonna drive down overall. I think it's gonna add. Yeah, more activity, more minerals, more PI, more fuel, because the uranium's going to be used for enriched uranium's going to be used for stuff. That's if they refine it. I mean, for me, I'm holding on to it. I think that's the smart play at this point for a nullsec corporation is to just hold on to the damn thing, because we don't know what it's going to be used in terms of Titans. And I'm still, it's 50-50 if Titans come out this year. According to Cloud, he said to be determined. My question was, are Titans going to be released this year? And he said to be determined. So
I wonder, does it make sense if I actually? It's sad that Fullsend left. That if I would organize some kind of a raid to disrupt or steal the minerals.
I mean, that would be
doesn't make any sense.
I really would hope so. I was really hoping so, but I think the mechanics of it, and Fullsend can answer this if he's tried to do this, but I think he'll agree with me when I say this. The mechanics of that make that very difficult to do. You have to know where someone has one of those add-on structures, so you have to go and find it, right, and figure that out. Then you have to know when they're going to spawn it, and you have to hope they don't clear it out in 30 minutes like I do.
And it's not telegraphed too. That's kind of the hard part. It's a lot of.
That's a lot of ifs.
You learn some pattern. Yeah.
I mean, unless it's a time thing that a corporation's doing all the time at the exact same time, and you can watch them as a pattern, then they're dumb and they're going to get killed. But that'd be like running Seeing Deads that way, and nobody does that either. So.
Or if they have a spy and they can just pull the schedule.
Right. Yeah, if they have a spy and pull a schedule, that's another way to do it. There's lots of ways to go around it, but I mean, just from the normal everyday gameplay, if you don't have a spy, if you don't have a pattern that you can recognize, if you haven't gotten a hold of their schedule, it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough to do. And I'm kind of, on one hand, I'm okay with it. On the other hand, I'm not. Like, it really should be. I wish there was a better way to. I wish they would have implemented that in a way that made it a little bit more balanced from the standpoint of it's not so fucking easy for a corporation to clear it in 30 minutes or less. And it's a lot harder to defend it, and a little bit easier anyway for the PvP players out there to go and snipe it or just kill people that are in it. I mean, granted, if you're doing it right as a corp, you've got a very large Overwatch sitting there. So again, not much someone's going to do to that. You could have thrown 100 blobs at me the other day, and you would have died, and I would have laughed and loved it, and it would have been great because I wasn't mining. I was sitting there in a couple of ships just praying to God somebody would try. And of course they didn't. We weren't there long enough.
I think you're going to see some changes though, right? Like, so for right now, I mean, the fact you did in 30 minutes is really fast, but I mean, you're going to also see moon mining compression apparently, right? So that's going to speed things up.
Being able to compress that ore, that would be nice because the hauling is fast. A bitch.
Yeah, I mean, so for folks tuning in, there's a screenshot above, but when you mine, the moon mineral is about 50% the mass. So about 50% of that 10 mil M3 is not something you can compress.
Yeah. It can't compress the crystals, can't compress the moon ore. You can compress the rest of the stuff, though. But anyway. Yeah, I mean, other than that, there's not too much to say. It's good that material is there in the market now. You can build the destroyers finally, so those should start showing up in the market. We'll get an idea of what those costs will be. It's a difficult thing. I forget if it takes a lot to... No, you can't compress the moon ore, Voyage. I don't know what you mean. Or the star crystals. Those aren't compressible.
Can you upload a video of you compressing that or a screenshot?
That'd be funny if you actually did, but I doubt it.
So, OC, is that
not with that attitude.
So is that 21 billion and a half? Is that like from one
that's
asteroid belt?
Yeah, it is. But that was one of the 240s. Like Taylor mentioned, it could go up to 280. That's not real though, because
no, the value doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I mean, like, so, if you're looking at, like, the intrinsic value of the PI, like, it's over 50% of that, at least, would be real. But the problem is we don't know, because the main thing you would craft with this is the battleships, but they have the boxes out, and it's also a new ship, and the destroyers are not great. But until real content, like, if they don't come with, like, Keep Stars or Titans and it uses this, we don't have an accurate way to price this.
No.
Yeah.
Gotta let the market decide.
Mining Mercoxid before Caps came out, right? It's like,
right.
It's going to be valuable, but people still sold it for 2K and Jita for 20 years.
Man, I really wish I could go back in time and just buy a shit ton of that stuff. Nowadays, it's a bitch to get a hold of.
when we did the Jump Freighter Craft event, all of that Morphite was bought from that era. It was amazing.
Yeah. So other than that,
Right.
I mean, it's good content. It's a good corp event. It gets a whole bunch of people on for a short period of time. It's kind of fun. There's lots of new materials that go with it. Those materials, by the way, that TBK just posted, that's the stuff I'm talking about that's likely going to be used for Titans, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go back and change, which will piss me off, but I wouldn't be surprised if they go back and change how some capital parts are built and make them use that material, or new capital parts that aren't even in the game yet and use that material. Because if you go and look at EVE Online, there's a couple of those almost all those materials are used internal to capital parts that are used for a Titan. So, yeah, and those build times for those actually making those is just like the red and gold balls. The time on it is atrocious, like 6 hours to make 200. Like, it's horrible. It's horrible, and you're gonna wind up needing thousands. I can just see it now. So, it is what it is. But yes, those are also used for the Desis as well. So we can start building those. Although, frankly, why? Why does anybody want to build one of those destroyers? Can anybody give me a reason to fly one of those over a Corsair 3?
No.
For the EHP.
What the hell? What the hell is the EHP and a Desi going to do for you when you run into a bunch of cruisers and battleships?
That's part of the joke.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's part of the joke.
I know. It's like, what?
Right.
Tofo's a Dictor pilot, or you're a Desi pilot. I know that for a fact. You can tell. I'm sure he knows. There's really no use for him if you go and look at him. But you tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe Fullsend can tell me if I'm wrong. If he thinks there's actually use for the, what is it? The Crowfoot. One of them's called the Crowfoot. I don't know what. Night Crow. And Errata is the other one. I forget what these things are named because I just Corsair supremacy. Don't be racist, Voyage Corps. Anyway.
All right. Yeah, we all know India's dead, so I think we can move on from that. Then
Indy's not dead. Indy's alive and well. We can say that all you want, but Indy's alive and well.
I actually heard of somebody, a court member of all people, a court member told me the other day that Indy is dead.
God.
I'm like, Patrick Starfish called. He wants his rock back. Like, get out from under the fucking rock that you live in. Seriously, like, do you not pay attention to anything that's going on? And it's obviously so. So, anyway, I roasted my own member on that publicly, even.
Yeah.
But a big thing that came out this last weekend in the patch notes was this, what did they call it? Relic Scramble registration, aka faction warfare.
Faction warfare, about fucking time.
Yeah, people are getting into this, and somebody could probably post a screenshot. I'm not in game currently to be able to get it, but currently it actually shows kind of how many people roughly in comparison to the other factions. Like,
you know, they
like
really,
the biggest one, most.
They really fucked that
up.
They really fucked that up. And here's why. They should have shown exactly how many people have signed up for, because they know. That's a number that they have there. They have a little thing that even says number and it says more. They should be showing how many people are in each one of those factions. This would do like two things, and it wouldn't do what they're probably afraid of, and the reason why they didn't. They're not doing it, and they're afraid of doing it because they don't want people to look at that and think that's the player count of actual active players. That's the player base, which is not the case. I mean, I have 7, 8. I have a lot of tunes, right? I'm not going to put them all into that I use on a regular basis, but I'm not going to put them all into faction warfare. I'm only going to put a couple of my combat tunes into it that's actually going to run it, right? So, or people just don't want to do it, right? So it doesn't really reflect what the actual player base is, but it would sure as shit for us. I would love to see what those counts are. Yeah, I think that would give a lot of people some good insight and probably some hope that they should have, but otherwise don't because they don't have any proof of what the actual player base is. At least the PvP player base, the player base that's not afraid to go blow up their shit. You know, there's 5 players in each faction.
How does this new?
I believe I'm actually 105 in Galante.
No. I got a lot of people in Galante.
So how does this new faction war games work? I haven't tried it yet.
There's nowhere to
So-
try it yet. It's just a sign-up phase.
Yeah, right
It
now it's
opens
just
in
a
3
sign-up.
days.
Yeah,
So
they're
the
going
combat,
not until the 11th.
Wednesday.
well,
yes,
Wednesday.
September 11th at 8 o'clock UTC +0 is when that
Which-
combat start time is.
If
So where does
if you
the
really
combat
think about it,
happen?
though, was that really the best date to pick for faction warfare?
On a Wednesday?
Just saying. No,
Well,
September 11th. I'm
not
just saying.
September
You know,
11th? Yeah, I know.
Not
I know.
Not every country mourns to September 11th. That's the thing too.
But this is the
to-
Chinese who picked it, so
to
my
literally any other
tinfoil
country
hat comes
outside
on
of
and
the
says,
United
"You
States.
fuckers," and makes me want to just go post a Tiananmen Square thing on Eve Echo's Discord that day, just for the hell of it.
Or it was just
It
social
is what it
credits.
is.
Lose all my social
Congrats, dude.
credits. Yeah. I mean, if they're
So
not going to have
they-
any respect,
No
Yeah,
respect.
They don't care.
I
No,
give
they
no
don't care.
respect. No, they don't care. They probably didn't even
No
think of it.
respect.
They probably don't even know. Honestly, the devs, they probably don't. They probably don't have a clue.
Right,
So
no, it's
what-
just
I
another
think
Wednesday.
I think it matches up to when the event ends too. If I
Well, it's a
recall.
patch day, so I mean, it's just a if they had said, oh no, we're going to release it on a Friday, and that Friday was a 9/11, okay, now I could really put the tinfoil hat on and say, go fuck yourselves. But yeah, it is what it is.
So here in their patch notes, Caps leaders can open the star charts to check which systems are at war. Upon entering a system, they can directly find large relics or discover smaller, more hidden relics through scanning. Within the relics, they can collect relic data or ores and defeat sleepers or other malicious members to obtain loot, merits, or LP. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is just for those Eve explorers in New Eden. I'm not interested in exploring or scanning like that.
But you won't have to.
And who the hell is going to fly
Well,
a mining ship into a war zone?
Exactly. You have a point. Well, except no. Exactly. Those same pilots who basically fly those Venture 3s that are armed with small lasers and everything else. That's what you're going to get there. They're fake miners.
Yeah.
So if this were to be the case, and I chose a faction no matter what it was, if I never go into these at-war systems, then I don't really ever have to worry about it. It's not your high-sec, low-sec, null-sec type.
But you
Faction
do
warfare.
because it's going to be
It's going to be in all systems, including high tech. The only thing is you'll be able to shoot those of the opposing factors without worrying about Concord.
yeah. If you see, this is the
But
part that
it's
gets
only,
a little
is
tricky.
that only at the site, or is it is
The entire
if
system.
If you enter that system, you enter it and say, "Oh, I'm allianceless," basically. Not realistically, but basically everybody's neutral to each other, and Concord will not respond to what would be friendly fire or whatever else.
Yeah, it's not clear how any of that's going to work. And part of me wants them to set this up where it's random systems throughout low-sec. Because right now it sounds like that's what it's going to be. I doubt they put these in high-sec, Damon. But it sounds like from the wording that
High-sec
it's going to be
islands.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, God,
Bro.
please. Claire Lamb, yeah.
So if they go off
Record
of
online
activ-
numbers.
Yeah.
if they go off of activity in their randomness, then heck yeah, high-sec islands. I think a lot of people are wanting high-sec islands to become fair game because obviously we know what's there.
Yeah.
So,
But
probably got
if you're
A-type
so what happens
Cyancies and
though?
all this bullshit.
Let's say it's just some random system in low sec, and now that's a war zone, and you're on autopilot or whatever. You're just flying through up to Jeddah in a freighter from somewhere else in low sec, and you don't know any better. You're not paying attention. You have no idea where that system is for that week or that day, and you fly through it, and you're not in one of those 4 factions either because you didn't sign up for it. Are you lockable? Are you shootable? Can you still be killed? Are we able to grief in those areas on the gates for just random people coming through? If that's the case and the answer is yes, oh my God, this will be fucking huge. I can't wait.
Yeah. Or if I
but-
sign up and
I don't think
like
knowing them.
yeah.
Knowing them with the way whales are and everything else, I think if you lock someone up in low sec and shoot them and they are not part of a faction, Concord will then shoot you. I think they have to be signed up in one of the factions for you to kill them.
Still though. That's
Yeah,
still
or
that's
how
still
the
cool.
gate guns will work,
That's still cool.
or maybe.
Well, the gate guns will be off basically.
Oh, well, let's not kid ourselves. This is NetEase. Somebody's
Yeah.
gonna screw up. They'll forget to deactivate gate guns, and everyone's gonna get killed by Concord.
Do you think we're going to see
Yeah.
on the patch note Tuesday any kind of an explanation for what this is actually going to be when it releases on Wednesday? Because they didn't really tell us a whole lot this week. Not really. That was the
Maybe.
shortest fucking patch notes ever for something this major,
Right.
anyway.
It's really all they said. Yeah, they talk about the registration and then a little bit about the combat and the militia. You could be destroyed by other malicious members in a war system. So
Did you read
Yeah.
what Ticketmaster said? NetEase is perfect, and this event will have 0 issues. Arrow confirmed.
Oh boy.
And NetEase has
Yeah,
no
that's
idea
the
what's
thing.
going to happen on Wednesday. You're probably right, Goji. You're probably right. NetEase probably doesn't even know what the fuck's going to happen on Wednesday.
right. You know, for those people that are just hauling through those systems that happen to be, you know, en route, or people transferring capitals in between, then those war zones, yeah, they're going to be a hot spot. Though I wonder when you enter system if you'll have like
A
any
warning.
sort of message or warning saying this is a contested system. Are you
Warning
sure
before
wanna
you jump in, yeah.
Okay, never show that up to me again, and then we're gonna get people making mistakes.
Yeah.
And basically, if it's low sec, you can just take a fucking capital ship into the faction war zone. Maybe have a fleet. I don't know.
Well, one way or the other, it's going to be quite interesting come next week. I think everybody, for the right reasons, is hopeful and excited for the content because we're finally getting rid of the old faction war games system, which was trash, and probably was trash within about 2 weeks of them putting it out. So yeah.
Hey, Mr. Fox was really happy about that.
Mr. Fox.
Really
Super. Yeah, it wasn't his name was Taylor's Fox that kind of led that whole thing.
I don't know what
you
you're
don't
talking
remember Taylor's Fox?
No, I don't
One of
know
the
what you're
devs?
talking
Rip.
Nope,
Yeah.
don't know what
Yeah,
you're
it's
talking about.
very rare that someone is like very happy, like so happy that we need to say it in the
Yeah,
podcast.
it was like during
This guy
okay during
is
during
fucking
the
happy.
1 year during the 1 year anniversary. They had their panel of talking about upcoming content, and Taylor's Fox was there, and he was talking about faction war games and how he was proud to implement it into the game and do all this stuff. And then, like you said, it was irrelevant after 2 weeks, and then of course people can't get into it, and blah 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 blah.
No, did that guy quit? Is he still a dev?
I have no idea.
He probably
I
quit
have
in
zero
shame.
idea.
He lost all of his
Probably
social
went to
status
do-
in China and had to quit.
Some other game.
So he's probably working with that first CM on that blockchain game.
Yeah.
No, not Joseph. Okay. All right, let me bring the patch notes back up here. They have this update notice about the new engine version. It does not support 32-bit Android operating systems. You know, I did since then educate myself as to the Fire OS. It is a 64-bit because it's based off Android 11. So those that are wanting to get Fire tablets, I highly recommend. They make good alts, good alt tablets. So
I will
people,
say
that's
that
mandatory
the new
this
engine
month.
will not work on BlueStacks 10 anymore.
Oh boy, that would be.
Switch to LD
Very-
player. If you're running BlueStacks, just
LD
switch
player.
to LD player. Yeah, save yourself the headache.
Yep.
It's so simple and quick.
I'm surprised people are still on BlueStacks. I get that some people running on Mac OS kind of have to use BlueStacks. I think that's one of the only options available to Mac. But basically, if you have Windows, LD Player is the emulator to use. Unless you're Taylor and you use Mumu or Mimu or whatever it is.
I used that for a while, but Muffin is saying his BlueStacks is working fine. So I don't know if you've
For
got
now.
the.
Okay.
Depends on
Maybe
depends
it's just
on your.
Damon.
Yeah, it depends on your PC. I mean, Damon's got a Walmart laptop, from 2004 probably.
No,
As
my
he's
gaming
shopping at
laptop works
Walmart
just
for a new
fine.
laptop.
My gaming laptop works just fine, but for some reason, like, it'll work with the old engine, the 4.55, but once you switch up to the new engine, that it won't even load. It'll get to the NetEase logo and then kick right back to home.
Gotcha.
All right, then they fixed some issues. Supplementary announcement. Fixed an issue of delayed updates in the local member list after passing through a Stargate. Fixed an issue where purchasing unit Lucky Chest did not grant Regent development attempts. And the missing attempts have been made up. That's interesting. Fixed an issue where the damage penalty of repair modules and rapid fire modules was not showing. It actually has a minus 20% penalty, similar to the mode. They fixed an issue where fighter damage bonus under the primary attribute was ineffective on light fighters. And they fixed an issue where defeating NPCs might deselect the target. Okay, interesting. I know I'm still having local issues. I have newts in my system pretty much all the time on one of my tablets. It's kind of an odd bug to have.
Well, you close out of local and open that local window back up, and it goes away.
Yeah,
it's like the refresh gets stuck.
Learned that.
Yeah,
and then also I had an issue last night where my corp chat was broke only. Alliance chat worked perfectly fine, and I had corp members talking in Alliance chat, but I could not get corp chat, and this was on an iPad, so it was kind of a weird issue there too. I'm like, how come I see on one tablet I see this corp member talking, but on my main tablet I can't see him talking? People are like, oh, do you have him blocked? And I'm like, no. It's
odd.
Yeah, odd issue. Anyway, so that is basically it for that. Now I do have there is, believe it or not, let me go back to the official Eve Echoes Discord. There is a Discord announcement that was posted. Hey everyone, this is from JF. One of our content creators has put together an event in celebration of the anniversary of Eve Echoes. Please check out their announcement below. And it's the announcement that Taylor had posted about the Echoes of New Eden Voyage ceremony that will be hosted over there on the official Eve Echoes Discord. That we are going to do a ceremony and a parade. So if your corp is interested in doing that, get with your CEO, get with a group of people to join it, represent your corp. It's all going to be in Jita. And let's see, if I go back to the announcement, let's see what the details. E1 presents player-based Voyage ceremony. This is an in-game ceremony that will start in Jita at the main monument. The host will read a short script about each corporation that joins. The corporation fleets will then autopilot to Tama for a battle royale. The last corporation standing wins. What? I don't think not even Taylor knows that yet.
Well, we have at least 4 duo omegas to give away, and we'll just add to that as the week goes on. Yeah, bragging rights is another thing, but we'll add to it as the week goes on. Maybe we'll make a photoshopped custom medal that you can use on your Discord kind of thing. But yeah, it'll be something.
Wouldn't that be hilarious to have a medal that was the Photoshop logo?
Is
Adobe
drinking allowed?
Yes, drinking is encouraged, although it's going to be at the exact same time as this podcast started this week, just next week.
Yeah, next week. So
you say it's like it's a bad thing.
No, not a bad thing. No, day drinking is great.
That's
yes,
the takeaway for this
custom soundboard be used during the podcast. You bet.
Yeah, everything flies in typical E1 fashion. Okay, because this is a Taylor Rick sponsored event.
Yeah.
So I somehow have to get on there. And then as to that subject, I'm still trying to get back into the content creator position on my official account. And with that being said, I actually spoke with Maru this week. Unbelievably so, she had actually messaged me, and the conversation goes, check this out. So the last time I had sent anything to her was asking questions regarding the anniversary celebration, as in Nobody's heard anything about it.
Yeah.
And actually, I'll pause real quick. About the Voyage ceremony, the E1 event, if you want to sign up for that to be there and for Taylor to read off the script of whatever your corp, contact Taylor to sign up for that.
Yep.
So I didn't mention that earlier. But anyway, I talked with Manaru. She says, "Hey Rambo, sorry for the late response. I think the content for the anniversary has already been updated." So I messaged her on August 7th. She replied to me on September 2nd. Almost a month.
Hmm.
And
It's a pretty good turnaround compared to support, though.
You think? You think the information's been put out yet? You think, Maru?
Yeah. So it's already been updated, all that stuff. I'm like, okay, by this point, I already know. But previous conversation that I had with her was actually, I was debating the fact that even when I was in the content creator program on the official Eve Echoes Discord, they were not giving me the duo omegas like they do to the content creators. So I have like 6 or 8 months of missing duo omegas that they were supposed to just automatically apply to my character. So I had asked about that. And let me go back to my messages. And she says, "I've requested Cartley to send you the missing omega, but due to some reasons, possibly related to the previous content you created, he has decided to not compensate you with the omega. I apologize for the inconvenience."
Wow.
So I'm not going to get compensated 6 to 8 months of duo omega, in which I should have gotten, basically, because I was part of the CC. But anyway.
Is that what that means?
So Cloud wasn't pleased.
I mean, but I kind of feel like they have to explain the reason, don't they? I mean, don't you guys sign an NDA, you sign a contract with them, no?
Right.
So,
possibly related to the previous content you created. He has decided to not compensate.
I can't tell if they're speaking to you directly or your lawyer. Like, possibly related. We're not sure. It really depends on who's asking. Who is asking, though?
Yeah.
I mean,
I was just
kind of
awful.
That's kind of harsh. I mean, because even after 8-9 months, Dead got compensated for their stuff that they never gave up.
So check this out. I do send a reply. Of course, I was itching to give my thoughts on this. I said, "Thanks for the reply. Very unfortunate that I cannot get compensated omegas for the missing months, but that appears to be on purpose rather than forgetfulness." I said, "Echoes of New Eden podcast is the #1 Eve Echoes content provided to players nowadays, and I don't even have access to the Eve Echoes Discord anymore, in which I still need to dispute that and regain my content creator role there once again. This process is so slow. It's been 7 months, and I have yet to have a conversation regarding my removal on the Eve Echoes Discord. The communication is very poor, and we need to make this better." And that was it.
No response from her on that.
No response on that.
Well, a month hasn't passed, though, in her defense.
Well said,
Yeah,
Rambo. Very good.
It's only been 6 days. True.
Yeah, so basically 5 minutes ago. Yeah.
So pretty unbelievable there. Believable, unbelievable. Take it how you want. But yeah, I'm still fighting it. It's crazy. It's been since last February.
Yeah. In my
It doesn't
case,
sound like you're ever going to get it.
Nah, not worried about it.
Yeah, this is how I usually communicate. I talk to Cloud and I ask him if they're in the same office as the Maru, that he goes and tells Maru that I have a message, and she will check and see if Jubi
That's funny.
Yeah.
Hey, check your Discord.
Yeah,
You might have some messages.
Jubi has something to say to you. Come on.
Wait, speaking of the Voyage ceremony next week, if you or a corp was in it and you didn't receive a corp compensation, you can always try and send this to support. I'm going to put this in the chat. This shows what they were going to give us last time, which they did, was 1.5 million corp rep. And this is proof. So I'm just showing this to folks, like if you know people that can give them shit.
Oh, no.
So any of the 36 corps, if you didn't get your stuff.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Gaming hot micing.
Damon hot my hand again. Yep.
What are you doing? Stop it.
And muted.
Yep.
Okay. For now.
Sounded
okay,
like
well,
he's getting robbed or something.
so that's the
fighting for his
latest
life.
there. So that's the latest there. Continuing on. Next, I suppose we could talk about the Reddit as to what shit show that's going on over there. This has been pretty funny to watch in the previous week or so. And last episode we had B-Town on as well as Stony. I don't have to talk about it much because I get people listen to that, they know how that conversation went. Stony dropped everything, including the Discord. When he dropped his truth bomb there, maybe. But but since then, 3 days ago, B-Town, his Reddit account, had posted some intel on Adam, and it's a whole wall of text, and people are on there and they're commenting, and I go there for the comments. Triple Helix is there saying, "Bring it on, nerds." Adam is saying that they've been exposed, everybody not be AFK, etc., etc. So, there's that type of stuff that's going on to the Reddit. So, I mean, it's like I said earlier, it's kind of the gift that keeps on giving. So, he's continuing to put stuff out. I'm sure there's more to come too in future posts when he decides to do that. But yeah, it's going on 4 weeks now with that situation. So that's pretty crazy to think.
He put on a list of all their super pilots, who has what, and where they like to dock, and where they like to mine, and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty
whether
damn
they
hilarious.
AFK, whether they RMT, their cams, their systems, everything is in that.
Pretty
A lot of
funny.
people have witnessed. Actually, I might be able to, because I did reactivate my Reddit account out of its ban today, hence why I did that post. But
You're getting banned everywhere. God damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it was more so.
What's wrong with you?
No, it's a Reddit thing because my password was supposedly hacked or some bullshit, and then I never opted to go through the process to get it back. Well, I finally did that. Felt like I had a need to. But there is some sort of statistics, I cannot see it right now, that you can actually see how many people view each post, as how many eyes have witnessed it. So, I cannot see it now, but I'm sure a lot of people. It had 115 comments on it. But more so recently, we have this video of Vetemune going out, and he's got this video of a pilot in Pand that he's accusing of scripting. And so as of right now, it's got 257 comments. I asked earlier what the over-under on it was. I was thinking maybe it might hit 300 comments, but that's based off how many people want to continue just rotting their brain, talking in circles there, because obviously there's no other proof that he's supporting. But there's a lot of hypocrisy. Is that even how you say it? Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy.
Oh my god.
All I
Stop
get was
beating
that-
Chrissy. Stop beating Chrissy. She didn't do anything
That
to
could
you.
definitely be a product. Get you some hippo. Let's
That's
go.
That's a soundbite. That's a soundbite.
Wow.
You did,
Ricky.
I think you
But,
did skip one thing,
yeah,
though.
hypocrisy, right? So
Hypocrisy.
people going back and forth on there, and in question, I'd actually reached out to Pand leadership. I'll put that in quotations. I did ask Joda as to what he knew about that, and Joda shot it down right away. He's like, that dude's he's just dumb.
Yeah.
He doesn't Joda knows KB, and KB is the character of suspicion. KB Games, that's his name. He's on this Discord. He's talked about it. And so according to Vet, this dude is cheating because Vetemune died and has it on recording. He's making this whole big thing up, and the whole hypocrisy thing about it is when he provides video footage of an obvious, to him, scripting concern, he posts it onto the Echoes_Eve, and this is the first time he's posted anything on this in probably months.
Yeah.
He posts this, and basically throws that accusation out there. In the comments, you see he's posted all the names, all the IDs, and so he thinks it's a clear use of syncing. With this, I do think that he's actually trying to administrate a mass reporting for his following, which has probably already happened. I wouldn't be surprised. But we know how low people go when it comes to this type of stuff. But instead of, and maybe he did, instead of just going to the devs and reporting it to the devs, he takes it to Reddit, makes a whole shitstorm there. We invite him to the show to talk about it. He declines. Reddit had the announcement on the server earlier, hey, we have some questions. All we want to do is talk. And I think for the 5th time he declined once again. That's okay. He can decline. I don't mind. I would rather have him talk and say his side of the story, but that's okay. We all know he has a hate boner for Tay-Tay.
Yep.
I was gonna say propaganda or Propa Rambo.
Nah, it's just
right?
me.
Is that
He
the-
just hates me. There's a trend here. We can actually get people on the show if I'm not on the show. Has anybody else noticed that? There's like a trend there. I don't know if that's just because I'm so fucking toxic or I'm just really difficult to handle. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Honestly, like, isn't that the goal of anyone in a capitalist society? Like, your product is more successful when you're not working. Right? Like,
Yeah.
That's literally like, that's a, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a 401k fund, right? Like, that's,
Yep.
you don't need to have the market manager, just, let it ride.
Actually, I have a good story. Like, just before this podcast, I had a conversation with Vetemune and some others, and
Luan.
they were talking a bit like this show is a negative thing, and that you, Taylor, say too much about your alliance and things. But in my opinion, like, if it's like football or sports, like, of course you advertise and say about your favorite team.
Why would I hate myself? Why would anybody want me to hate myself? That's toxic.
Yeah, like, if you're like how, I don't know how to say it, but like let's say that in football, like, I'm a Arsenal fan, and that's how I represent myself. I'm like that, and I like the team, and yeah. So how is it so difficult to understand that Taylor is from SHH, and of course he will say positive things about his alliance. Like, every alliance leader will of course be proud and say good things about themselves or their team. You cannot just say that, oh, I'm a leader of this shit alliance and everything goes to hell and nothing works and I hate all my members and all sorts. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, of course you will say good things. You're the leader. Like, that's the thing. Like, of course I'm from Kraken, and yeah, proud Kraken member. We have been alive almost a month, I think, and yeah. Don't know. Don't know what to say. We're so young, but still, yeah. It's
So
everyone should understand that thing, that you have your team, you will cheer for your team.
This goes back. This goes back before this video. This goes back before I even got banned off EE Discord. This goes back as to like day one from when Vetemune joined the content creator program on the official Eve Echoes Discord. Like, day one, he comes in, hey, we need these changes. We need this to change and that to change, and capitals are overpowered and they need nerfed and blah, blah, blah. It's any sort of contest, based off ideals or whatever game experiences, it's considered debating, or he takes it the wrong way or anything like that. It's like, dude, no. First of all, learn the game. And second of all, like, you don't know everything. Obviously, there's going to be situations, and Taylor Rick has put him in some of these situations too, because the whole capital thing being nerfed. You can't take on a capital of 10 battleships. You can't take on a battleship with 10 cruisers is totally false. There's this whole thing where it's got to be a 10 of or a 100 of thing where he was on that for the longest time, and supers needed nerfed. It was the dumbest conversation I ever witnessed in the content creator chat.
He still goes on about that with supers, which is so stupid. Like, does he not even pay attention to the game?
When Caps first came out, he was angry that he wasn't able to kill it with his stabber.
It's coming to the comments of this, and he's talking about it, and there's of course people on here that are like Bradrick, and basically your typical names are in the comments here. And I mean, Taylor, you're here. You could talk about how SHH is against it.
It's real simple. It's not only we treat it the same way internal as we would anybody else in the game, right? So internally, if we find someone, video proof isn't video proof, by the way. Video is evidence, right?
Yeah,
so
I
if
can
you have
basically edit anything on video.
But true, but I mean, if you have the evidence now, and you turn that into the devs, and the devs look at it, they can tell if you're scripting or not. They can tell across those characters if you're quote unquote botting, because that's really what we're going after here, is someone botting, not AI ratting, but actually true botting across multiple tunes that are running scripts through an emulator. Netties can tell. They know when that happens, and if you can turn in a video with a date and a time for them to go back and look at it, and they give a shit, and they ban you, then you are kicked from Silent. It's that simple. That's how we look at it in terms of the rest of the map as well. If we find someone who's doing it, or it looks like they're doing it, that's our evidence. We go and submit that to the devs, and if that person gets banned, okay, they're on our blacklist now. And if they don't get banned, well, then maybe it just looked like they were doing something wrong, but we can't really tell. For internally, our players are innocent until proven guilty, and we let NetEase make that decision because we have no way of knowing 100% for sure. You can't go around and make everybody guilty before innocent, right? It's that simple. That's just a very simple, easy to understand rule, which I'm sure will get.
You guys are cheaters.
Yeah, we're cheaters now. Yeah, whatever. Fuck you. Go back to your little umbrella around AOA. Go kiss his ass. Kiss Zhao's ass, and hope for protection that your timer zone tanking shit's gonna hold up for forever, because it won't. Your day is coming. All of you that want to go and poo-poo to AOA, your day is coming. So,
Taylor,
whatever.
Do you remember the episode when I was really upset about the Lancer shooting me with the Doomsday?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I was like, fucking cheaters. Like, with the cameras and fucking have
but that's
a
not
timer
cheating.
Set. Like,
But
he's
that's not
like,
cheating.
The fucking watching the clock, like 3 seconds, and Jubi will land, and I will shoot him with the fucking Doomsday. Every time. 4 times.
This is
the
good.
Fucking same day.
But that's like the only thing the Lancers are good for, man. Like, really, they're.
Yeah, I was like, God damn. Then Rambo, he explained it to me. Yeah, he has the cameras. He's really good at that. And then I like him. But still, I think that fucking Lancer Doomsday guy, God damn, fucking cheat.
Yeah,
I don't believe it.
Kunpo Mayhem. What the hell?
Yeah.
You're salting my popcorn. Thanks, Jubi.
Yeah, I can imagine if he did it 1 time, but fucking 4 times in the same day, and there's like a
He's
1
good.
hour, 2 hours,
Yeah.
like in between. Like he's like fucking waiting all day long, like fucking, and 3 seconds, and pew, he kills
That's what
you.
he does. That's what he does. He's really good like that.
Yeah,
Please,
fucking
Jubi, tell us how-
esports player.
Jubi, tell us how you really feel.
I don't know.
Speaking
man.
of people telling us how they feel, we don't want to get through this episode before we go back and talk about the comment gold on last week's episode when B-Town was on. Because the comments on YouTube were
So good.
so good. And I got a few of them pulled up. So if we're ready for that, I want to make sure we cover it. But if we're not quite there yet, keep going, Rambo.
No, we're not quite there yet
Okay.
because I have things to add.
Okay, go for it.
Okay.
So, regarding this, of course, I'm talking about it on on our Discord here, on the E1 Discord. Well, it turned out the player that was in question, that was accused of being the botter, aka scripter in this sense, is a member on this Discord. Like, he follows the podcast. He's listening. He's in the audience literally right now, and he was telling us as to it's something that you could do. It's called cascading, where you would have the windows over it. He's got video footage. What would you say? Contesting.
He's already posted
video. It. Yeah, he's posted it
right
in the
here.
chat
I'm
as
gonna
to
play it
how he operates that fleet. So, Vetimune's got his video, and then of course we got this one saying, well, this is how he runs the fleet. I requested this video from him. I was like, hey, if I bring a neutral alt into deck, can you come and attack it with your fleet and just record everything on your end and show me how you did it? That's okay. If he's able to do that, in fairness, okay, I'm fine with that. But if it's a legitimate scripting, then NetEase is going to ban him for it, because they have ways to be able to detect scripting.
Everything.
It's embedded in the game. It goes from clicks, touches, whatever you touch, down to the pixel, X, Y, dimensions, all that is data that NetEase can use against you. So if he's scripting, and he legitimately got reported by Vetimune and his cheerleaders, I like to call them, NetEase will look into it and be like, yes, he was for sure scripting, he gets the ban. If he was not, then I guess who can you say, like, who is right? Right? Who is right? So NetEase has anti-cheating software within the game. That is known. They've been fighting bots for a long time. We don't see it in the announcements, because remember back in the day, they were banning like 40,000 characters, 80,000 characters a month for all this stuff, for suspicion of botting and scripting and all this type of stuff.
Right.
Like that, they've implemented changes into the game to automatically determine that and automatically enforce scripting. Has KB Games been doing this for a long time, he probably would have been banned by now, regardless of that video coming out or not. He would have been banned by now.
Yeah, and usually what I've heard, like usually if you're a multi-boxer and you have a rotation that these guys are now banned because they use the script, then you have like another set of outs what you send, and because they ban you for 30 days basically, and you have this rotation going, so basically, okay, you get banned no matter, I'll just activate the next set of clones basically. Like it's endless.
Well, we all know the whole AOA thing, and of course when you tell Vetimune about, oh well, you're blue with known botters and you protect them and all this crap and you rely on them, it's like he shoots that off right away. But he's the first one to shout and be the loudest when it comes to SHH potentially botting. So
yeah, it's like if
I'd like
I
to
would
get a
make...
name. I'd like to get a list of names, because there's other. What's his name? Words in Vain. He says, "Oh well, I have systems and I have character numbers and all this stuff of known botters." All right, where are they? Like, literally, we have the executor right here with us as a co-host on the show. Like, he has the capability of looking into this and enforcing it. The last time it needed to be enforced was when MJD was pseudo executor.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we don't have these problems. Could they be there? Potentially. I will give the benefit of the doubt, as there's probably stuff that we don't know in SHH.
Sure. Can't know everything.
The members have to know that.
Yeah, can't know everything.
Can't know everything.
But our CEOs know. Our CEOs know. Our the majority of our most active pilots understand what's going on and know. And if someone, if someone gets caught and we get the deets on it, then yeah, they're gone. So it's really simple.
Some people just can't let go of grudges.
No, they can't.
No. See, one thing I wanted to ask Vetamune too was his not only his hatred toward Taylor Rick, but why he only does SHH only content. You know, his YouTube channel subscriber base only watches SHH only content videos from him. You do understand that, right? It's
Yeah.
like, do you do anything else? Do you just slap music onto a video and call it content creation? He died like 5 times yesterday, and I watched his fleet run from another fleet from active response. It is what it is.
Was he in the stabber though?
Nah, he's in a whole bunch of other ships.
RB Covop, usually with a Hick in Maputh, his alt. Usually. Anymore, that's kind of what he's doing, is a 1-2 combo of those two. But
Jules is right. It's because the rest of the map is blue. That's basically why he camps Fade.
he's not going to want to camp Fade much longer. I just tell you that.
I'd say
Well-
my most popular videos are usually the ones where I get killed.
Do people like to
believe
see
there was a
Jubi
short
die?
time- There was a short time where Vetamune was hunting in Pravi, and he kept getting his ass kicked. So that's why he doesn't go back there anymore.
Yeah, that's embarrassing to die in Pravi. No offense, OC, but it's embarrassing to die in Pravi.
I mean, it is for us too. So.
Yeah, so anyway, I think he needs to change his video titles to Gate Camping and Fade NPC Station, episode 24.
Wow.
That's all he
200.
does.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
whatever it is. Anyway,
But when
he won't
we
ever come
were-
on the show. It's obvious.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, there's actually a possibility that that we'll do something where he comments on the show. I think we got a workaround. I'll let you know about it off air.
yeah, and if Vetamune is listening, everything what we talk in the show, you should be honored that we mention your name, that you are a legend. You make videos, like people know you, what you do. Like, don't think that it's a negative thing, that we're talking shit. Like, for example, I'm here to enjoy the game with players, and I want to meet all sorts of players. I don't think I need to hate Taylor because we fight some kind of a war for 1 year. I'm more like humbled that thank you for this opportunity to fight this war, and it ended how it ended, and now we are Kraken and all sorts and things change. But yeah, this is a game and we are the players, and this is for the players.
Yeah, but like when issues arise like this and he's super vocal about it, why not come head to head with the executive of SHH and talk about it? Hey, your players are scripting. I have video proof of it, and this is all the stuff that I have to talk about. And you're hypocritical for thinking otherwise because you blame me for protecting AOA and dodging AOA questions and botting all that type of stuff. How about in a room face to face have a talk about it? Well, he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't like the confrontation of it. He doesn't want to be belittled or whatever else. Is like, okay, is asking a question.
I think his meme. I think his
bad
meme
thing?
he posted was, "Come on the podcast and get insulted. Don't come on the podcast and get insulted for not coming on." And my response to that was, "Come to Declan and get insulted."
Right.
So I mean, that's what
I think
what
that
the
we could
hell.
have I think we could have a good conversation if there were multiple executors on for that, like do like a panel type thing, and it could be just an RMTM botting and like, hey, like yeah, it's Nettie's responsibility, but as members in the community who give a shit, like you maybe start off first question, hey, how does your alliance handle this? So Taylor just answered that question. By the way, Taylor, that's another I told you so. That was another example of you giving actual useful, like just facts about how your shit works.
No, I gotcha. Yeah.
And then the
Yeah.
second one could be, hey, what do you, now that you've explained your process, what do you see as a shortcoming? What do you care about changing? And then what do you see the limit that you can do? Like, where is it that Nettie's has to pick up? And I think if you asked a couple people those questions, I think the majority of executors would probably agree on how they handle things, like for the most part.
OC, can I tell you a funny story? I
Please.
actually today was talking, like people were talking about this podcast, and I think they only saw the debate show, so they haven't seen any previous shows. They only saw the one debate show, and from that show they have this expectation or a vision that the people who were the guests are actually the ones doing the show, and like very confused. How the hell? What is this show? And yeah,
So they feel
I
like we did a
recommend-
switch, bait and switch. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, that's funny, but it's unfortunate because let me just say this, right? Like, just as someone who I was not a founder of the show, I came in super late to this party. One of the things that I really, really liked about this show, like why I'm here, is because of the CSM stuff, because I got to work with two of these guys and I liked how they operated, right? But one of the things I really appreciate about the show is that Rambo has a format or a framework, but it's not like, you may have seen like there's a script or whatever for like one of the things, but for how long it takes to prep, it's a very organic experience, and it's weird that folks wouldn't want to engage with this, to be honest. I don't think that, like, I'm not saying fear is weird and you should feel bad because you're afraid of whatever, like uncertainty is whatever, but if you are someone in a leadership position and you have something you want to talk about, or you know someone in a leadership position, you know they have some shit to talk about, you should convince them to reach out to Rambo or Taylor. I think this is a very accessible platform. I don't think you have to come on here and have volumes of stuff ready and, counter stuff ready. I think it's very, very accessible, and it makes the community better.
Yeah, I also said like to the chat what I was talking, like if anyone who wants to say their opinion, like ideals or whatever, like you're welcome to come here and say what you want to say, and we will react how we react. So it's okay. I don't know, like what's the big deal?
For listeners, new or old, if you think SHH is a piece of shit, I want to hear from you. Contact me. We'll get you on the show. I'll mute Taylor Rick so he can't combat any of your propaganda you're going to try and spread. But honestly, I want to hear it.
Yeah.
I might even agree with you. I might agree with you. That's the sad thing. I might agree with you.
Yeah.
But we don't know if we don't ever have those people on.
But here's the thing too: the show originally, when the show kicked off, and for the first 2 years of that, it was primarily you, Taylor, and Chicken, stuff like that, who was all part of Silent. But if you look at the show over the last few years, how it's grown organically, like OC said, it's not silent. It's, you got people from Pravi, you got people from Kraken, you got Stony, who's going to be joining the panel soon. He's from the Space Cow, so it's just like it's like a hodgepodge. Well, yeah, but you know what I'm saying. It's like not like you can't really say, oh, that show is silent propaganda, because it doesn't. It's not all generated from silent. It's not just a silent show. It is a Eve Echoes podcast in essence.
That's why I'm here.
If I can't get Kraken opinion, then I guess we're not Kraken.
Also, I would just say as a general rule, like, unless you disagree with the fundamentals of a platform, there's no reason not to try and change the representation you have by engaging yourself. And the platform here, I mean, we had that panel show. I mean, that if there was silent propaganda in that, I'm lost, right? So I thought both sides
there is.
I thought both sides
Master Yoda was talking propaganda.
Yoda was.
He should be just fucking silent and not talk anything. Then it's not propaganda.
Ad hominem. That was my way to tag the propaganda by just screaming ad hominem.
That's why it makes me not a little bit mad that if a player wants to tell his ideals and his what he's doing, and people say that it's propaganda. Like,
I want to say that the last
damn.
10 minutes of this podcast have been nothing but Eve Echoes. Echoes for our show's propaganda, right?
Yeah.
And I'm done with it.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, rip. If
You be
okay,
propaganda.
Sorry, not comment.
Yeah.
Lamau.
Yep.
Well, that's not going anywhere.
Okay. Anyway, I'm done on that. If whatever happens to KB, if he gets banned because all his accounts are on the same IP address, it is what it is. But
Yep.
basically, he had debunked the fact that he was quote unquote scripting based off the accusation that Vetemune had. So I wish I could have talked to Vetemune about that, maybe educated him on how fleet commands work, but he seems to know everything. So there's no need for us and a panel to be able to talk with him. So good on him.
It
I hope
takes
he
a bit of
continues
time
his-
to calm down.
I hope
You
he
know,
continues his rage against bots in the bot wars that he's going up against. So
Yep.
good deal. All right, Taylor, I'm ready for your comment section on the YouTube channels from what we had received from B-Town's episode last week.
Yeah. Last week's episode with B-Town on the theft of TSC, Adam anyway, specifically. We had a couple of really good ones. The first one here was, I used to think maybe I could be a therapist. After listening to this, I realized I could not be a therapist. In quotations, you know what, you're right, dude. Good, go fucking GFYS, basically. Go fuck yourself, basically. Stitches. He can't be a therapist from that. That was great.
Wow.
Next one is, love how this turned into an episode of Jerry Springer right in the middle. Yeah, when I went and got Stoney to come on and talk to B-Town directly, that was great.
Amazing. Yeah, I was also like, wow.
That was perfect timing. This episode was better than the reunion special for 90 Day Fiancé. This poor bastard had to watch 90 Day Fiancé with his wife. I'm sorry, man. He goes on to say, I'm glad both sides got to voice themselves, and now we can all listen to the discussion and perspectives and decide for ourselves just how bad the Voyage ceremony was.
Wow. Let's decide for ourselves.
Oh, and B-Town is a thief. That was actually disgusting. That's so good. That was so good. There's a few people who actually came on in support of B-Town, saying they'd like to give a tiny bit of context. I think to shed a light on this history, B-Town's been there since the beginning. He was leadership before Stoney, but because of mergers and broken promises, he kept getting screwed with. Like this, I don't mean that to be political, but it gets to the heart of it. All the leadership, especially Stoney, are huge snowflakes. This is someone posting this on Reddit, on our YouTube channel comment. He was forced out of leadership bit by bit. This was the last straw because he literally built the infrastructure you see in TSC today. He mined and donated all the minerals. He used a huge multi-boxer to build a huge portion of TSC's original cap fleet, got it off the ground. I can't tell you how integral he was to manufacturing, not just for Adam, but for the Alliance. Every project had him at the heart. He was once called the heart of Adam and the Alliance. He built everything just about. This whole argument was because after the merger was in process, Stam and Arjuan wanted B-Town to build their way with his minerals. They also wanted to commandeer all the pause in the home system to run very unprofitable pause mod thingies. He was talking about seeing indeds anyway. And this person just goes on and on and on to give a little bit more context to what B-Town's position was before that merger with Trimark. Because really Trimark merged into Adam. And I think that's where some of the fuckery started coming around. But yeah, there's a lot of support actually for B-Town. Another one said, "I still love you, B-Town. Miss having you in comms every night. Family friendly." Yeah, that's not too bad. Not too bad. So if you haven't gone over there and looked at some of those comments, you need to. They're great. There's a few more too that kind of go in those same veins on both sides. But I think that was my favorite one out of all of them is the I'm glad both sides got to voice themselves, and now we can listen to the discussion and perspective and decide for ourselves just how bad the Voyage ceremony was. Oh, yeah, B-Town's a thief. We briefly discussed that. That was my favorite one out of all of them. But they're so good. They're so good. And I think that was probably the most commented YouTube video we've done in a long, long time. In a long, long time. Even more so than the first one that we talked about that discussion when we had Stoney on talking about the theft itself. Had fewer comments than that one did. So, yeah.
Are we going to be talking about it next week too?
No, we shouldn't be.
Tom,
I mean,
can you drop another Intel Reddit post?
well, he
so
did
we can
die
have
in that
something
Bane. One of the things that he stole was a Bane, and he died in one tech smeb in it. So that was funny.
Yeah.
He now has a security.
Yeah, I was going to bring
consultant.
that up because we didn't touch base on that.
There it is. Now that's cool to know that Flinker has an Aeon, or at least can fly an Aeon, because he also has a VAC as well. So I wasn't sure if he has skills in both, and his skills
It's a
are
lot
crap.
of speed, dude.
That's good for me to know. Yeah,
Hold
if he's
on.
flying both of those, his skills
does
are
the
crap
Intel
somewhere.
match up? Hold up. Does the Intel match up here? Aeon, super pilots. We got a cross reference.
Yeah, I got a cross reference sheet you can go back and look at. Yeah.
I don't care.
No, I don't care either. It doesn't matter. But no, good stuff. Good stuff all around. Make sure to like and subscribe all of our YouTube stuff. Jubi's whispering. I don't know why he's whispering, but he is.
This sounds oddly sexual.
It
What is
does.
he- what is
I don't
he
know. What
saying?
is he saying?
I'm not complaining, but
Mä oon nyt repinyt häntä ja kaikki on meressä taas. Ja nyt se täällä tappaa.
Is that another language?
Mä oon vielä radio-ohjelmassa.
I
don't know what that
I
is.
think he's trying to seduce us.
I was gonna say it's working, dude. Like I'm down.
Sorry. Yeah.
She's
Hold on,
casting a
Jubi,
spell, as what
let's
someone
finish.
said.
Jubi was just casting his spell.
Do we have a way to vote for like the funniest thing someone said in on-air chat? Like,
That was
wow,
it
the
right
thing is
there.
Because I feel like that, like that's strong.
That was pretty good.
All right, that sir, you're gonna get 10 Lamaus. Ready?
Lamau, 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 Lamau. So really,
Wow.
the prize is a punishment if you're funny. There we go. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. The prize is a punishment.
Jubi, can you do that again? This time I'm gonna record it.
No.
Just flat no.
He can't. He was speaking from the heart that time.
That's right.
Very
That's
great
right.
that
He
moment.
doesn't
Dude, it was
actually
straight
know.
up Slytherin.
Yeah, I was gonna say he actually doesn't want you to know what he said, like straight up.
Well, I mean, you have it recorded, right? So
Yeah, we'll go back and listen.
Rip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking in tongue. Tom Riddle.
That was some Finnish language.
That's what it sounded like. That's what it sounded like.
glad we could all
All
come
right,
together
guys.
and learn things.
We had just about a 2-hour show again this week.
Yep.
Hit a number of topics and had some good discussions and stuff. It was another fun episode. I love busting out the soundboard and getting that thing going. I definitely have to add some more stuff to it, but maybe even have Jubileus seducing us and finish again. That might be a sound clip next week. We'll see.
Don't
But,
forget
that's
about
basically
the
all I got.
Voyage. Yeah, don't forget about the Voyage ceremony next week. It'll be at the same time that today's show started, but next Sunday we'll make some posts about it throughout the week. We've only got about 4 corporations signed up to be part of it, so we need more. If you're worried about losing ships in Tama, because you're going to, then here's a little tip or a suggestion for you. If your corporation is building ships for your corporation tech tree, then just use those. Build those, use those, show up in the exact same ship, put your prototype rigs on it, throw some Mark 9, Mark 7 crap on it, and show up in that in force, and let's have some fun. Otherwise, you'll be faced off against my nesters and nightmares. I don't know.
Are we gonna have to have rules like no cloaks or anything like that?
No, there's no rules. There's absolutely no rules, and it's going to be short.
It's last one
'cause
standing. We're
it's
gonna
last
be there
one
for 4 hours.
Nah, and I'm going to cut it off time wise. So
Okay.
it's going to be a timed thing. We're not going to let it go for forever.
Use a cloak, not eligible. There you go.
Nah, you can use a cloak. Who cares? But there's a time thing. So if you're around and you're cloaked and you got more people there, then it doesn't count. It's just whatever. So you got to be
yeah.
where the fight is.
Your corporation is building ships, and they just yeet them into Concord anyway. So why not just jump in it and actually use it?
Jump in them, use it, and once the whole thing's over, IP it back for next to nothing because it's just a cruiser or battle cruiser, maybe even a destroyer or frigate for whichever one you pick, and then turn them all in and off you go. Didn't lose anything.
Yeah.
Good fun.
I'll be there in my Typhoon Black Ops because that is a beautiful ship and I like it.
Nice.
Yay.
Yeah, show up in pairs. Bring Sino down. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
It'll be good.
I was thinking maybe to have like a few ships ready at Tama, and I'll come and film something.
There you go.
Maybe shoot something at the same time, but still, it's filming videos is very hard. So usually, best to use the cloak.
Yep.
But let's
All right.
see.
Well, we will call it a show then and end it right there. So I want to thank everybody that joined us live in the audience. As usual, we always appreciate your attendance and conversing in the on-air chat. We like that. We enjoy that. We like the jokes. We like the memes. We like everything about it.
Yeah,
so
it's great
always
fun.
a good time. If you can join us live, we appreciate it. As well as those that listen to us out on other platforms, we appreciate you too as being part of our following. So I guess we will see you in as Jubi breathes during my monologue.
He's getting super hot over that
He's
Tempest
getting-
Fleet issue that was
he's
just
getting-
posted.
Bro, he like
Oh, it's
seduced
super hot.
himself. He turned himself on. Like,
Holy smoke.
Oh boy.
I got a quarter chub. I have to minimize it.
He's just prepping to cast another spell.
That's what it
My
is.
train of,
right, like I'm turned
I
on.
lost my train of thought. Say your goodbyes, guys, and we'll
See
close
ya.
out.
See y'all later.
Okay. See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.
See you next week and see you on the faction warfield.
Yes.